You stepped outside this morning. Maybe it was early before the children were up. The grass was still wet from the night before. You walked out barefoot maybe, or in old shoes, and you looked out at the yard and something felt wrong. Not terribly wrong, just off. There were patches where the green had given way to something else, little sprigs of something that did not belong, thin, weedy things creeping in along the edge where the lawn met the garden bed. And you knew, standing there with your coffee going cold, that summer was coming and the yard was going to be a fight. You have been through this before. Every spring it starts the same way. You go to the store, you stare at the bags, weed killer on this shelf, fertilizer on that shelf. Sometimes there is a bag that promises to do both, and it costs more than either one alone. You bring something home, you drag the spreader out, you follow the directions, you water it in, you wait. Some of it works, some of it does not. The crabgrass comes back in July anyway, and by August you are starting over. That is the rhythm most people know. It has been the rhythm for a long time now. But I want to show you something different today, something that has been sitting in feed stores and grain mills for well over 100 years, used by farmers and homesteaders and the women who kept their families and their land together through every hard season you can name. A single powder. Does 2 jobs. Costs almost nothing. And the lawn and garden suppliers have never once told you about it because there is no reason for them to. Stay with me. Let me tell you what this is actually costing you first, because I think you should know. A bag of crabgrass preventer for a standard yard, about 5,000 square feet, runs somewhere between $35 and $55 at any hardware store. A bag of lawn fertilizer for the same space costs another $20 to $30. If you are buying the combination weed and feed product they market so heavily in the spring, you are spending $50 to $65 in one trip, and that gets you 1 application. Most lawns need 2 a season to stay ahead of the weeds. So before summer is half over, you have spent close to $130 on your lawn, and the crabgrass still showed up in July. My neighbor Ruth came to me 3 springs ago. She stood in my doorway with a bag she had just bought, turned it over in her hands and said, "Hannah, I cannot keep doing this." She had 3 young children and a husband working long days, and every spring the lawn pulled money out of the house like it was owed something. She was tired of it. She sat down at my table and I gave her coffee and I told her what my mother had done, and what her mother had done before that, and what the women in this community have done for as long as the corn has grown in this county. She went home with a small bag of powder that cost her less than $2 a pound at the feed mill down the road. The following spring, she told me her lawn was the best it had ever looked. Now I want you to sit with this for a moment. What if the solution was never on the fertilizer shelf at all? What if it was somewhere quieter? Something that came out of the land itself, from the same crop that has fed families in this part of Ohio since before anyone alive can remember. Something so simple the industry never found a way to charge you properly for it. It is closer than you think. My name is Hannah Stoltz. I am Amish, and I have kept house in Holmes County, Ohio for nearly 40 years. I have 7 children. I have tended the same kitchen garden since I was a young woman, first learning what my mother knew. I have never bought a bag of synthetic lawn fertilizer in my life, and I have never bought a chemical weed preventer. Not once. The lawn around this house is fed the same way it has always been fed, with things that come from the land and go back to it without leaving anything behind that does not belong there. I have grandchildren now who play in that grass. I want them to be able to put their hands in the soil and not worry. What I am going to show you today is something our community has known for generations. It is a byproduct of corn milling. It is a powder the color of dry cornmeal. It smells faintly of grain. You can buy it at any feed store or grain mill wherever you live for almost nothing, and it does something that no synthetic fertilizer can do. It feeds your lawn and stops weed seeds from rooting at the same time. Let me show you. Before I go any further, I want to be honest with you about what this does not do, because I think honesty earns more than a good advertisement ever could. This powder is what farmers call a pre-emergent. That means it works on seeds before they root. It does not kill weeds that are already growing. If you have dandelions standing tall in your yard right now, with roots already deep in the ground, this will not touch them. If you have thistles or any perennial weed that comes back from the same root year after year, this is not your answer for those. It also will not work if you are planning to reseed your lawn this spring. It cannot tell the difference between a crabgrass seed and a grass seed. It stops them both. So you choose one or the other. Overseed or apply this powder, not both in the same season. Where it does work, it works extremely well. Annual weeds, crabgrass, foxtail, barnyard grass, purslane, pigweed, clover seedlings. The weeds that come fresh from seed every single spring. Those are exactly what this stops. Here is what you need and how to use it. The powder is called corn gluten meal. You are looking specifically for the kind with 60 to 65% protein content. That is the number that matters. Feed stores sell it for about $1.50 to $2 a pound in bulk. For 1,000 square feet of lawn, you need about 20 pounds. For a typical backyard of 5,000 square feet, that is roughly 100 pounds. Which sounds like a lot until you realize you are spending $30 to $40 total for something that also fertilizes your lawn all summer long. Ask at your local feed mill or farm co-op. Tell them you want corn gluten meal with at least 60% protein. They will know exactly what you mean. Step 1. Timing. This is the most important part of everything I'm going to tell you. You apply this powder just before the weeds would normally begin to germinate. In most of this country, that means early spring, when the forsythia blooms, or when the soil temperature reaches around 50 degrees. You are getting ahead of the seeds, not chasing them. If you apply too late, the seeds have already started rooting, and this powder cannot help you. Step 2. Spread it evenly. Use a simple broadcast spreader or scatter it by hand if your space is small. You want about 20 pounds covering every 1,000 square feet. Not more, not less. Too thin and it will not be effective. Too heavy and you are wasting powder that costs you real money. Step 3. Water it in. After you spread it, give the lawn a light watering. You want the powder to settle into the soil surface, not sit on top of the grass. But here is the part most people miss. After that first light watering, you want the soil to dry out. Several days of dry. If the soil stays wet and soggy, the peptides that do the work wash too deep and miss the weed seeds entirely. Wet to activate, then dry to hold. That rhythm matters. Step 4. Do not overseed at the same time. I said this already, but it bears saying again because it is the mistake I see people make. Wait 60 days after applying this powder before you put any grass seed down, or the grass seed will not root either. Step 5. Be patient with year 1. The first season you use corn gluten meal, you may see 30 to 50% fewer weeds than you normally would. That is real progress, but it does not feel like a miracle yet. Year 2, the effectiveness climbs. Year 3, studies conducted by universities that have tested this for decades show the success rate against annual weeds rising above 90%. It builds on itself. The soil improves with each season. Your lawn gets thicker. A thick lawn crowds out weeds on its own. It becomes a system that works with less effort over time, not more. Store any leftover powder in a dry place, sealed from moisture. Moisture before application ruins it completely. A dry cellar shelf or a sealed bucket works fine. Let me tell you why this works, because once you understand it, you will never think about your lawn the same way again. Corn gluten meal is a byproduct of wet corn milling. When corn kernels are processed for starch and syrup, the protein fraction is separated out. That protein fraction is corn gluten meal. It contains a group of compounds called bioactive peptides, small chains of amino acids that occur naturally in corn protein. Here is what those peptides do. When a weed seed sits in the soil and begins to germinate, it grows a tiny root called a radicle. That radicle is what anchors the plant and pulls water up from the soil. Without it, the seedling cannot survive. The peptides in corn gluten meal inhibit that root formation. The seed germinates, it pushes up a tiny leaf, but when it reaches for the soil with its root, the root does not form properly. The seedling collapses, it never establishes. Think of it as pulling the ladder out from under something just as it is trying to climb. Your existing grass is completely unaffected because it already has a full established root system. The peptides only interfere with the very first root formation. After that window, they have no effect. Nick Christians, a horticulture professor at Iowa State University, discovered this in 1986. He was studying turfgrass diseases and noticed that test plots with corn gluten meal had dramatically less weed germination. He spent years investigating why, isolated the peptides responsible, and was granted a patent in 1991 on corn gluten meal as a natural pre-emergent herbicide. Iowa State and Ohio State University have both conducted extensive field trials. The research is solid and has been for 30 years. The Amish and Mennonite farmers in this county have used corn and its byproducts in soil and field care for well over 100 years. Long before any university gave it a name. I want to take a moment here and speak to the people who wrote to me. A woman named Margaret wrote to say she had tried this last spring on her small patch of yard behind the house, the one she had given up on after years of fighting crabgrass, and by midsummer she sat in a chair out there for the first time in 5 years and felt proud of it. She said her grandmother had kept corn-based things in the barn her whole life for the soil, and she had forgotten that until she watched this. A man from Pennsylvania wrote to say his wife was skeptical, but they tried it, and now she is the one who reminds him every March to pick up another bag from the mill. I read every single one. These letters mean more to me than I know how to say. Now I want to tell you something that might make you a little angry. Not at any one person, at a system. The lawn care industry in this country generates billions of dollars every year. Companies like Scott's and the larger chemical conglomerates behind many of these products have built their entire business model on a single idea: that you need a different bottle or bag for every problem. One product stops the weeds. A separate product feeds the lawn. A third product for grubs. A fourth for the moss in the shady corner. Each one sold separately, each one bringing you back to the store twice a year, every year, for the rest of your life. The combination weed and feed products they sell are priced at $50 to $65 for a bag covering 5,000 square feet. The chemical pre-emergent they use in most of those products, something like pendimethalin or prodiamine, was engineered and patented specifically to replace natural alternatives. It cannot be sold at $2 a pound because a patent does not make money at $2 a pound. Corn gluten meal cannot be patented in bulk form. It cannot be exclusivized. It cannot be made into a subscription. Any feed mill in any county in this country can sell it, has sold it for generations, and charges almost nothing for it because it is a common byproduct of an industry that has been running since before your grandparents were born. There is no money in telling you this. There never has been. That is why no one in the industry ever has. The women in this community have known about corn byproducts for the soil for 5 or 6 generations. The knowledge did not come from a university study. The knowledge came from watching the land and wasting nothing that the land gave, and understanding that what grows from the soil can also tend it. The study at Iowa State confirmed what Amish and Mennonite farming communities in this county already knew. Sometimes the laboratory catches up to the kitchen eventually. Here is what I want you to do this week, and it will take you 15 minutes. First, go to your local feed store or grain co-op and ask for corn gluten meal at 60% protein or higher. It will cost you almost nothing per pound. Pick up enough for your lawn space, roughly 20 pounds for every 1,000 square feet. Second, spread it evenly across your lawn this spring before the soil warms fully. If the forsythia is blooming where you live, you are right on time. Water it lightly once, then let the ground dry for several days. Do not overseed, just spread and let it work. Third, do this again next spring and the spring after that. By year 3, you will barely recognize the difference in your lawn from the work you used to put in. You will see the crabgrass thinning out season after season. You will see your grass filling in. And one morning, you will walk out barefoot on grass you grew and tended yourself, without a single chemical, and you will feel the difference under your feet. That is the moment I want for you. I want to ask you something before you go. Have you ever tried corn gluten meal or anything similar on your lawn or garden? How did it go? What did you notice that first season? And second, Did your grandmother or your mother tend a lawn or a garden in a way that you have mostly forgotten? Some old habit of hers that you have not thought about in years? Tell me about it in the comments. These old methods deserve to be remembered, and the people who carried them deserve to be remembered too. I read every single one. Next time I want to talk about something that lives in most people's pantries right now, something that has been quietly fixing one of the most common garden soil problems for over 200 years, and no one is selling it because no one can. You will not want to miss that one. Until then, waste nothing. And remember, the women who built this country with their hands knew things we are only just starting to remember.